It's the regular season finale in Minneapolis, and the Vikings are headed for the playoffs, taking on the Chicago Bears, who are wrapping up a season of disappointment. And welcome, everyone. Dick Stockton along with Mark Schlereth. We'll be hearing from Jen Hale shortly. And the Vikings are locked into the number 6 seed. They will play next weekend. And Mike Zimmer has decided to sit practically all of his regulars, and that includes the quarterback, Kirk Cousins. So Sean Mannion gets the call at quarterback. In essence, this is a bye week for the Vikings, partner.
Exactly. And you know, depending on how next week goes, you're either brilliant for making this decision or you're a moron. Either way, but I think one thing about Mike Zimmer, he's old school, and it was against his human nature not to play his starters for 3 or 4 series just to wash that taste out of their mouth that happened to them Monday night at Green Bay. But ultimately, he decided we're more the team that went 8-2 up to that game than that outlier that was the Green Bay Packers game.
Meanwhile, the Bears were division champions last year. If they win today, they end up 8-8, and there is no sugarcoating the fact that this team just did not deliver this season.
No, they certainly didn't, and it's not from design, it's from the execution, the players at every level, whether it's the offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, running back, and of course the quarterback. They did not get it done. But playing against backups today, there are no excuses. They have to win this game.
All right, it's the regular season finale, and the last home game for the Vikings will be on the road in the playoffs, so it'll be the Bears and the Vikings. Coming up,
Football League.
welcome back. It's about 40 degrees outside, not that bad. And inside, well, a great dome stadium here. And the final home game for the Vikings, and the Skol chant, the Gallahorn, all part of the great tradition here in the upper Midwest before every Viking game. And Mike Zimmer, who's going to the playoffs for the 3rd time in his 6-year career, doesn't know who he's going to play next week in the wild card game. And Matt Nagy, of course, who's got some work to do. We told you he's 3-0 against the Vikings, and looking for a good performance today after a 12-4 first year as head coach last season. And the Bears won the toss, they deferred, and the Vikings will get it first as we check in with Jen Hale.
Dick, Sean Mannion making just his 2nd career start today in place of Kirk Cousins as the Vikings rest their starters ahead of next week's postseason appearance. Kirk Cousins lobbied hard to start today. He wanted redemption after that Monday Night Football performance against the Green Bay Packers, but it's just going to have to wait a week. Now, here is the good news for Vikings fans. Next week, they are expecting all of their regular starters back, including middle linebacker Eric Kendricks, who was out last week with a quad injury, as well as Dalvin Cook, who would have played today had the game been critical, Dick.
And Mike Boone, who's making his 2nd NFL start, starts the game with a bang. A huge gain on the first playoff left tackle, had a huge hole and got it done. And the Vikings, yes, they're playing their backups, will have a first down on the Bears 16, and well, gain of 59.
Yeah, this is something they didn't do last week. Beautifully executed. That's just a wide zone play. You saw the block by the left tackle, by the tight end, getting it done. The cutback lane by Boone, and you're off and running if you're the Minnesota Vikings right now. Great sign, because it's something they didn't do at all last week.
From the